Ever pondered how each of your actions might be leaving an indelible mark on our environment? We're living in an era marked by human influence, sometimes referred to as the Anthropocene. It's a time where our activities are reshaping the Earth's ecosystems, often in ways that are detrimental to both the environment and ourselves. Today, let's delve into the overarching impact of our actions on this shared home of ours. Consider deforestation, a clear manifestation of human impact. Forests, the green lungs of our planet, are being cut down at an alarming rate, for agriculture, for timber, for urbanization. But what's the cost? The destruction of these natural carbon sinks not only contributes to climate change but also leads to a loss of biodiversity. With each tree that falls, we're not just losing wood but entire ecosystems, species, and the invaluable knowledge they hold. Then there's pollution. From the smog-filled air in our cities to the plastic choking our oceans, our world is bearing the brunt of our waste. This pollution isn't a distant problem. It's in the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat. It's affecting our health and the health of countless other species. Overconsumption is another piece of the puzzle. In our quest for more, we're depleting the Earth's resources faster than they can regenerate. We're mining minerals, pumping oil, and draining aquifers, compromising the very foundations of our economies and societies. The consequences of these actions are profound. We're seeing it in the form of climate change, with rising temperatures and more frequent extreme weather events. We're witnessing it in the loss of biodiversity, with species vanishing at rates unseen since the last mass extinction. We're feeling it in the degradation of our natural resources, with soil erosion and water scarcity becoming increasingly common. Our actions today are writing the story of our future. As we move forward on this journey, let's remember, each choice we make, each action we take, has an impact. The health of our planet, the well-being of future generations, and the survival of countless species are all intertwined with our decisions. As we proceed, bear in mind that our actions today shape the world of tomorrow. Take, for instance, the Amazon rainforest, often referred to as the lungs of our planet. This vast, sprawling expanse of greenery is a vital component of Earth's biosphere, contributing significantly to global biodiversity and acting as a key regulator of our atmosphere. However, this verdant paradise is under threat. The primary culprit? Deforestation. This destructive process is largely driven by agricultural expansion, where vast swaths of forest are cleared to make way for farming. Imagine, if you will, an area the size of a football field being mowed down every single minute. That's the scale we're dealing with here. But agriculture isn't the only villain in this narrative. Illegal logging also plays a significant role. Despite regulations and protective measures, illegal operations continue to chip away at the forest, driven by the high demand for tropical timber on the global market. The consequences of such massive deforestation are far-reaching. Biodiversity, for one, takes a massive hit. The Amazon rainforest is home to around 400 billion individual trees, representing over 16,000 species. As we lose the forest, we lose these species, many of which are yet to be even discovered. Then there are the indigenous communities. For them, the Amazon is not just a forest, it's a home, a source of livelihood, a provider of food and medicine. As their ancestral lands are stripped away, they face displacement, cultural erosion, and economic hardship. And let's not forget about the global carbon levels. Trees absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen, acting as natural carbon sinks. With fewer trees, more carbon dioxide remains in the atmosphere, contributing to global warming and climate change. The Amazon rainforest is not just a forest, it's a lifeline for our planet, a complex ecosystem that supports countless lives and processes. The ongoing deforestation is a stark reminder of how human actions can drastically alter the natural world, often with devastating consequences. The Amazon rainforest is a stark reminder of how our actions can have far-reaching consequences. It's a wake-up call, a plea for change, because if we don't act now, we may lose this precious resource forever. Or consider the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a testament to our disposable culture. An enormous swirl of trash spanning twice the size of Texas, floating midway between Hawaii and California. This monstrous vortex, formed by the currents of the North Pacific Gyre, is a haunting mirror reflecting our disposable lifestyle. The formation of the garbage patch is no overnight phenomenon. It's the result of decades of plastic waste being dumped into our oceans, relentlessly pushed by the gyre's currents into a seemingly never-ending whirlpool. The majority of this waste is non-biodegradable plastic, which breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces over time but never fully disappears. The impact of this plastic pollution on marine life is devastating. Sea turtles, seals, whales, and countless fish species mistake these plastic fragments for food, leading to starvation, suffocation, and death. It's a tragic cycle of contamination that also circles back to us as these plastics enter the food chain and ultimately end up on our plates. But there's more to this story than just doom and gloom. There are solutions at hand if we're willing to make the necessary changes. The first step is to reduce our plastic consumption. By opting for reusable items over single-use plastics, we can significantly cut down on the waste that ends up in our oceans. Next, we need to improve our waste management systems. This means not only recycling whenever possible, but also ensuring that our waste is properly disposed of and doesn't end up in the environment. And finally, cleanup efforts are crucial. Organizations like the Ocean Cleanup are developing innovative technologies to remove plastic from the seas. But while these efforts are commendable, they can only treat the symptoms of the problem. The real cure lies in preventing plastic waste in the first place. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is a glaring manifestation of our throwaway society. It's a visible reminder that our actions have far-reaching consequences. It's a call to action, urging us to rethink our relationship with plastic and work towards a sustainable future for the sake of our oceans, our wildlife, and ultimately, ourselves. So, what can we do to mitigate these impacts? The answer lies in each of us taking responsibility, not as isolated individuals, but as a collective. Our choices, habits, and actions matter. From choosing to recycle to reducing our carbon footprint to supporting sustainable practices, every small step contributes to a larger impact. It's about living sustainably, making conscious decisions that are kind to our planet. But personal responsibility is just one part of the equation. We also need to advocate for policy changes that protect our environment. We must demand transparency and accountability from corporations, ensuring they uphold sustainable practices. Moreover, let's embrace technological innovation. From renewable energy sources to biodegradable materials, technology holds immense potential to combat environmental degradation. By synergizing individual responsibility, collective action, policy change, and technological innovation, we can turn the tide. Remember, every action counts. The choice is ours to make the Earth a better place for all its inhabitants.